Hey everybody, Chef here. Today is July 30th, and we're going to be harvesting some onions and some potatoes. But first, I wanted to share this with you guys. My sunflowers are starting to open up. It's pretty cool. I don't remember what variety these are. These are a hybrid, so I won't be able to save the seed. They're about 8 foot tall, which is probably about as tall as they're supposed to get. I thought they were supposed to get more in the 6 or 7 foot range, but these are probably pretty close to 8 foot. So yeah, that's gonna be real pretty when they all get opened up. And while we're here, we'll just take a look at the corn. We've been having quite a bit of wet weather, and it's been super hot, and the corn loves it. It's starting to make ears, you can see. So I'll check that out. We got a double ear there. Well, that's a nice one. Now, one thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it this evening, I'm going to put my electric fence up around this. So keep the raccoons out once this stuff gets a little bit closer. I had a problem with that last year. I mean, with a patch this size, they're not going to completely wipe it out, but at the same time, I want to get as much of it as I can. So I'll be putting up my electric fence tonight. I'm trying something new this year. I got some of the poly wire that's kind of like rope that has strands of wire in it, and I'm hoping that's going to be a lot easier to deal with than the regular I guess it's aluminum wire that I've been using, just because that's a pain to take down and put back up. So hoping the poly's a lot easier to deal with. Well, we're down here at the other garden now, and as you can see, this sweet corn, she's getting close. Probably, I would think, maybe by this coming up weekend, it's going to be ready. It's looking close. It looks real nice this year. Now, with that being said, here's my electric fence down here. I really need to put a third strand on it, so I might do that later too. Even this second variety, this it's doing really good, and I sure don't think that it's going to be the 10 days after this other variety that it was supposed to be. But we'll see. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, the garden isn't as weed-free as it once was. You know, we've been having wet weather here, which made it extremely hard to get in here and get the weeds when they were small, when I needed to get them. That, and then I've had a lot of irons in the fire this summer, and haven't been able to keep on top of it due to weather and other stuff. So yeah, kind of lost interest in it, but at the same time, everything's doing good. Everything's big enough that it's that the weeds aren't really hurting anything. Mostly I only have grass type weeds to deal with, so I mean, it's not that bad. The tomatoes are looking really good. I saw that there were a few Romas that were ready. There's a nice, great big one down there. And I really like, you know, this variety. They are loaded, but they're just not turning yet. So we've been canning green beans. I think my wife canned 50 something pints of them. So we're pretty good on them for the year. And but today we're down here and we're going to be pulling up these onions. You can see, yeah, it's a weed mess. I don't like showing it off, but it is what it is. And then my 2 rows of potatoes here, which they've been dying off for quite a while now. This variety is Kennebec, and this variety is Pontiac Red. So we're not going to be digging a whole bunch of them today, kind of just what I'm going to be using for a while. We're going to be harvesting them and filling up that hospital pan. And then my onions, I going to put in my harvest bucket here. And I'll probably just go ahead and pull about all these onions. So this is kind of how you can tell when onions are ready to pick if you're not familiar with it. The neck of them bends over and it's getting kind of soft. And now it's a very complicated thing, harvesting onions, if you've never done it before. There it is. Just kidding. No, I mean, there's not a lot to it. These are super nice onions. I'd say that one's close to baseball size. And I don't know what I did different this year, but these onions have turned out really nice. That sucker there, that's a nice onion. So I'll pull all these and then I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do with them. The potatoes, it's not hard to harvest them. I'm just gonna use a potato fork. So I'll harvest some stuff and then we'll come back and show you how everything did. Well, here's the total from the onion harvest. About half of the bed of my gator here filled up, and I just tell you what, I just can't believe how nice these are. A lot of years in the past, when I've grown onions, they just haven't got nearly this big. This is the same exact variety as I've always planted. I mean, in years past, this one here would have probably been one of the bigger ones. But I really wish I knew what I did different this year. I didn't fertilize these in a special way. Actually, in the past, I've done a better job of fertilizing. I only put a little bit on these early on. But the only thing I can figure is the timing of when I seeded them, because I seeded all these from seed. So the timing of that, and the plants just grew really well the whole time. In years past, because I start them so early, I didn't have as good of a seed starting setup as I did this year. If you guys want to know more about that, you can watch some of my early videos from this year. But yeah, just really impressed. So I'm gonna go ahead and go dig a few potatoes, and then we'll show you those, and then we'll show you what I'm gonna do with all these onions to kind of get them to dry out for storage. Okay, boy, it's hot out here today. So I dug up probably 7 or 8 feet of each of the rows. Now I know I told you guys that we've been getting plenty of rain. I mean, look how nice and how much moisture's in that soil. And this is in the hill where the potato was. Imagine just the regular ground. But funny thing about potatoes, you never know what you're going to get until you start digging. And overall, I think they've done all right. I don't think they've done as good as some I've had in the past. I don't think they've done as bad as some I've had in the past. So pretty happy. The potatoes that are coming out are pretty nice. These, trying not to get my shadow in the camera, in the picture, but these Kennebecks, these are some pretty potatoes. I do think that the Kennebecks are doing, they're producing better. Let me find some of the Pontiac Reds. There's some of them. So, yeah, overall, not too bad. Okay, well, we're in my garage now, and I have all my onions laid out so that they can dry and cure. What I have here is I have this little table that I built that holds my, used to hold my plants, my seedlings for the garden before I had the greenhouse. I built this little plant table, and just so happened I had these old window screens from some windows at a house that was getting replaced that I saved, and they, as you can see, is an absolute perfect fit for these window screens. So I have a lot of junk that I've saved, but just like that, you never know when it's going to be useful for something. So that's good because it allows plenty of air to circulate around the onions, and had basically just the right amount of onions for this table. Got some down there, so basically, as you can see, they're kind of just hanging off the side, and then here in the middle, just kind of not a whole lot, just so there's plenty of space for air to move around them. And then once the green parts of them dry, we'll cut those off and cut these roots off and kind of clean them up a little bit, and we'll put them in a basket or something and put them in the pantry. Which if you guys want to see that, let me know. That's going to be several weeks before they're dry enough, but I'll probably also, at least here while it's really hot, I'll probably run a box fan on these, especially probably for the first several days at least, to really help them start to get dried out and not mold or rot or anything. So yeah, hope you guys like this video. We'll be having some more videos coming up. We'll be picking some sweet corn here before too long. And appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate my new subscribers that I've picked up. So thanks to everybody. Hopefully everybody out there has a nice evening and a nice weekend.